Progress over perfection. Quick show of hands here. How many of us are perfect? I'm putting my hands down quick. Hey everybody, Coach RJ from www.fitclub.fit. If you're watching this video, I want to offer you 5 days free. All you got to do is send a message on the platform that you're watching this, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Instagram, or whether it be Facebook, and just say, hey, RJ said I can get 5 days free. Members, if you're watching this, feel free to post it onto your Facebook and we'll honor it for the next 2 months, so November and December of this year. Now, the belly burns to me are a time where you get really focused and you try to build a new habit. Now, there's times where we're still focused on our goals, but we all know that a lot of things slip between the cracks because it's really hard to be on point and perfect 100% year round. And so 2 things that I wanted to work on was my sleep time and then tracking my daily goals. When it came to the sleep time, I actually found through the course of this belly burn that my sleep times were so erratic, okay? There were times where I'd go to bed at 10:30, 11, 11:15, 11:28, 11:38, 12:15, 1 a.m. Like it was all over the place. And you know how life gets is that sometimes you'll get home late, sometimes you'll eat late, and a lot of times you want to be able to just sit down and you want to be able to get on your phone. But what I found was that I was spending too much time on my phone and it was pushing my sleep time back. The other thing that I learned with this sleep tracking was that I was actually waking up at the same time every single day. So it's not like if I went to bed at 2 a.m. that somehow I would wake up at 10. If I went to bed at 2 a.m., I was still waking up at 6. It didn't matter. If I went to bed at 11, 6. If I went to bed at noon or midnight, 6 o'clock. And so when my sleep time changed, I noticed that by tracking it over the 28 days, that I no longer needed a nap. Usually by the middle of the day, I was completely zonked and I needed to go lay down and I would crash for 20 to 30 minutes. Now that I was able to track my goals in this belly burn and make sure that I was being consistent with it, I no longer need that nap. And without needing that nap, I also needed less caffeine. In fact, for the course of this entire challenge, as I reflect on this, I didn't have 1 cup of coffee. So normally I'd have 1 cup of coffee, some pre-workout, and some kind of other brain wake me up kind of supplement that had caffeine in it. But I went down to minimal half of that. And then also I didn't have any coffee for this entire challenge. So the sleep time was such an important thing. Then I was also forcing myself by tracking what time I actually fell asleep. So my watch shows me that I was actually shutting down when I was supposed to. So normally I would just stay on my phone, and even if I was tired or wasn't tired, staying on your phone keeps you awake, or watching another TV series is gonna keep you awake. And so what ends up happening is I was shutting down when I was supposed to because I knew in the morning when I tracked what time I fell asleep that I was being held accountable to doing the things that I was supposed to do. And then the last thing that I noticed was that I was waking up more motivated and more focused for the day. How many of us wake up and we just don't want to? I'm in these group chats and at 4:30 a.m. somebody wakes up and they're like, please cancel my 4:55 a.m. reservation. And the reason being is they were probably staying up way too late. They couldn't sleep because they're on their phone or they're watching TV and their brain was going nuts because they weren't shutting down when they're supposed to. And so when they wake up, they're lacking motivation. You and I, we can get up for a trip to the Bahamas with 2 hours of sleep, no problem. But on 2 hours of sleep to go to the gym when it's a little bit cold out, it's still dark out, we don't have the motivation. But by doing this sleep time and being held accountable in this belly burn, you'll wake up more motivated and you're gonna stay focused on your day and get your workout done. So that was the sleep time. That to me, that was such a huge habit that I developed into the belly burn, and my goal is to continue this. So I'm gonna continue tracking every single day for the next year as well. The second part of the belly burn was to focus on tracking my goals. So I have 3 major goals that I wanted to work on, and there are small things that I needed to get done every single day. And I also found that now that I was actually tracking if these things got done, in my brain when I wake up first thing in the morning and plug in my sleep, I can actually start to sort through my day of all the things that I knew that I should be getting done, but I was probably missing. And so when I started to sort my day, right, I started to think about all the things I need to get done. I organized them in time frames. And then I actually found by the end of the day, I got more done and I had more free time for myself to rest or be on my phone or whatever it was. Because I used to be overwhelmed because I knew that things needed to get done, but they weren't getting done and something was missing. And now that I actually see whether or not I spent time with my kids, spent time with my wife, or got something personal done, and I was tracking it, that, okay, I got it done. It's been a great day. When it comes to tracking my goals, my kids and my wife, they got consistent quality time with me because I knew what areas I was slacking in and I made it a priority. With my wife is once a week, I wanted a guaranteed quality time with her, whether that means going for a walk or whether that means date night. It got done. With my kids, it was a matter of, did they get their training in? Did they get some type of education in? And did they get fun time, right? Me training them, doing box jumps, that's fun for me. Me spending time and having them do homework is fun for me because I know where it's gonna make them. But playing on the bouncy castle or having a hot bath or just going on the sled is time for them that they see play. And so every day I want to make sure that I allotted at least 5 to 10 minutes to just play on top of homework and on top of training. And honestly, as I look back on the 28 days, there were days that I missed. The third thing that I noticed by tracking my goals every single day and being accountable in a belly burn was that I just feel better. I was looking at my sheet and I could see that I'm winning. So there's days when you wake up and you just feel like you're not making any progress. But then when you see everything that you've done over the course of 28 days and you put the check marks or you put the numbers and you know that you're getting it done, then you see that you're improving and right away you feel great. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. When I looked at the 28 days, I actually missed 10 complete days. Like 10 days were completely blank. So that's 10 out of 28 days, which is 35% of the time that I was losing. But if you turn this around and you look at the wins, I actually won 65% of the time. So in actual, I won. This is similar to everybody's belly burn. If we set a goal of losing 12 pounds, but you only lose 6, we say to ourselves, I only lost 6. But that's 6 pounds that you're down. If you kept going, that would be close to 100 pounds lighter that you would be at the end of the year, and you wouldn't exist. So we know that's not an obtainable goal. We aren't aiming for perfection, we're aiming for progress. 6 pounds is 6 pounds closer to your goal, progress over perfection. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at your task list. Now, anybody that's not in a belly burn, we create a progress plan and a task list that everybody needs to get done every single day. Now, looking at this task list, if you got 50, 60, in my case, 65% or more hitting your targets, like your tasks of the day, the steps, your water, your supplements, your workouts, then we want to focus on the wins, okay? You won. You can also focus on, did you learn something new about yourself? So in my case, I found that actually I have more time. I just need better structure in my life, but there might be something in your life that you learned, like, hey, normally when I have a stressful week, normally when I'm low on sleep, I normally tend to go to food and overeat, or when I'm under-rested, I tend to skip the gym. But maybe over these 28 days, you really stepped it up because you knew you had to dial in for this belly burn challenge, which is only 28 days. And that's something that you grew on. So reflect on your wins, focus on progress over perfection. I'm Coach RJ, www.fitclub.fit. Visit us, mention the belly burn challenge. Let's get focused together.